Like, at this point, I just really need some sleep. Badly. Hello writers, my name is Patrick Nyland. As you may remember, the first video I ever made on this channel was a vlog where I attempted to write a book in a week. And that video was terrible. Please don't watch it. The only reason I haven't deleted it is I think it's helpful for people starting out to see how my platform started out. Just take my word for it, it's a bad video. And so you don't have to watch the original video, I will spoil it. I failed the contest miserably. I did not even come close to writing a book in a week. However, at the end of the video, I concluded that if I tried harder, it is possible. And in this video, I will once again attempt to write an entire book in 1 week. Similar to last time, the rules are as follows. Rule 1, the book must be a minimum of 50,000 words and I must complete it in 7 days. Rule 2 is that the book must feel complete, meaning it has a beginning, middle, and end. Therefore, it's not just enough to write 50,000 words, I have to have a full storyline. Rule 3 is that I'm allowed to plan an outline, but I am not allowed to use any prior writing. And rule 4 is that if I fail this challenge, I have to do the punishment of your choice. The first time I did this challenge, I ended up giving away $50, but this time, the punishment is going to be something that everyone can enjoy. That is, if I fail to write the book in 1 week. Now, at the time I'm refilming this intro, I'm only about a day and a half in, so I don't really know if I'm going to complete the challenge. But to make this video more interesting for the viewers, I will also do the punishment if this video gets 1,000 views. And that punishment is going to be me reading and reacting to the spicy romance novel of your choice. So be sure to share this video with your writer friends if you want to see me do that punishment vlog. Or if you want to share them an inspirational writing vlog. Anyway, if I'm being honest, this time around I'm basically doing the same thing I did last time. Some people would say doing the same thing twice and expecting different results is crazy, and I agree with them. I'm a crazy person. What sane person would challenge themselves to write an entire book in 1 week? The main difference between my approach this time and last time is that last time I moved to school halfway through the video, which made it really hard for me to focus on writing, while this time I'm moving back to school by the last day. So my goal this time around is to make sure I'm almost done with this book before I move to college. Other than that, that's about it. I'm basically doing the same thing again and wishing for different results. Only this time around, I'm a much better vlogger than I was last time, so your experience is going to be much better as a viewer. Oh, the one other difference between this video and the last video is this time I also made a cover. And the reason I made a cover is, regardless on if I succeed or fail in this challenge, I intend to post what I have to Wattpad so all of you guys can read the book I'm currently attempting to write in 1 week. And I'm doing that for 2 reasons. 1, I want to prove that I actually did it. And 2, I think it'll be a great way for me to get some writing out there and show everyone what an unpolished draft looks like. For my whole life as a writer, I've been really self-conscious about putting my work out there. So this is a great way for me to do it without feeling all the pressure. Because all of you know that this book is not going to be perfect. I wrote it in 1 week. You know that, right? It's not going to be perfect. I mean, I'm going to put it in Grammarly before I put it up there, but you realize that there's going to be mistakes in this book. I wrote it in 1 week. 1 week. I didn't edit it or anything. I barely read any of it over. It's not going to be perfect. And yeah, 50,000 plus words is a lot of words, so I'm going to go get writing. So the book I'm writing for this challenge is called Europa. It's actually the same book I tried for the last challenge, but I'm restarting from scratch because I didn't really like how that went. And it's basically about a single mother who decides to go to space in the hope to discover life on Jupiter's moon Europa, and all the challenges her and the team experience along the way. Each chapter is told as a separate diary entry too, which really helps when you only have 1 week to write. Alright, this is the end of day 1. I had to film this quickly because I am really tired and I just need to get some sleep so I can get up early and start writing tomorrow. But I have to say I am really proud of myself today. I ended up writing 6,000 words. So yes, that is a little bit behind of the pace that I want to set myself. If I want to hit 50,000 words at the end of this week, I'm going to have to increase that pace. But 6,000 words is no joke, and coming from the fact that I haven't really been writing that much this summer, I'm really proud of myself for hitting it on the first day. So it puts me in a position where if I get ahead on the second day, I can really have a solid chance at completing this. So yeah, I'm excited, and I'm gonna have to get some sleep because there's gonna be a lot of writing to do tomorrow. So one of the main challenges in writing this book in 1 week is Europa is meant to be hard sci-fi. And what that means is it's science fiction that you could see happening in our universe in the future. Like, everything is very realistic. And the challenge that presents is there's some stuff that I don't know, but I don't want to spend too much time doing research. So the way I've balanced that is I try to Google stuff as quickly as possible and then get back to writing. Obviously, my stuff is not going to be perfect, but I can always change it later. Also, while I didn't outline at all, I can try to use some of the research that I did when I tried to write this book the first time. So it is 5 a.m. on what is technically day 3, but I'm counting it as day 2 because I haven't gone to sleep yet. and I have written 15,076 words. So that means my total for the day is 15,000 minus 9,063 words today. Um, that's a lot of words. At this point, I just need to get some sleep, but I honestly might stay up and write a little bit longer just because I have never written 10,000 words in a day, and I really want to see what that feels like. Even though it is technically not one day because it's like 5 a.m., but still. I will say, going ahead with this challenge, I'm gonna need to manage my sleep and how much I'm resting a lot better because I am starting to feel burnout while I'm writing, but I'm still going strong, so yeah. Also, I think the craziest part about me doing so well in this challenge so far is that I have yet to have a single cup of caffeine. I haven't had any coffee, any tea, any Monster. So yeah, this is just me like running on pure writing chaotic energy, and I am all for it. At this point in the challenge, I went all into writing gremlin mode. I didn't care how it looked, I didn't care how I looked while I was writing. The only thing that mattered was getting more words on the page. At this point, I was also getting closer to writing the part of the story where we actually go to space, so that really helped motivate me because that's the part of the story that I'm most excited to write about. So I'm gonna call day 3 here. I've written 7,859 words, so that makes my total for the project so far in the 3 days 22,935, which is pretty good, slightly ahead of where I want to be. Again, I want to keep on pushing forward, especially since on the last day of this challenge, I'm moving to college, so it's going to be a bit more difficult to write. But now I have to get some sleep because I'm looking out the window and the sun is out. So once again, I have stayed up way too late writing. I'm going to need to figure out a different sleeping schedule if I'm going to complete this challenge because I'm not getting enough sleep. Writing in this position was a terrible mistake. The next morning, I woke up and my back was killing me from leaning up and trying to look at the computer. That being said, the video of my feet going back and forth as I'm writing is kind of funny, so at least I got that. Also, I'm looking behind my shoulder at the shelf, and I think my graphing calculator's under there. I haven't seen that in years. I gotta pick that up. It is the end of day 4 slash the beginning of day 5. I pulled sort of an all-nighter here. It's like 7 a.m. And I managed to write in this time span 10,381 words. I think that's a record for me all time. And yeah, I'm super proud of that, but I'm also really exhausted. Um, yeah. I've been trying to get ahead of myself this time because last time I really got behind. And I know that on the last day of this video, I'm going to be moving to college, so I might not be able to write as much as I want to. So I've been trying to get ahead with that, and I've done a pretty good job, but yeah, 10,000 words in a day is a lot. It's like, at this point, I just really need some sleep. Badly. I just hope I can get some sleep without sleeping in too long. I don't want to be in bed till like 5:30 p.m. My parents are going to look at me funny. And, oh, they don't know I'm doing this, by the way, so they don't really know why I've been locking myself in my room all night, every night for the past week. But, yeah, it's a little surprise. And, yeah, I feel like I'm just talking in, like, riddles right now. I don't think anything I'm saying is making sense. Also, if you check it out, I got a haircut. I think the last time I attempted to write an entire book in 1 week, I also got a haircut in the middle of the video. It's just because the time works out where I have the time to try to do a challenge like this right before school starts. And I always get a haircut right before school starts, that way I can grow into it during the semester. Because I only get my haircut when I'm at home. I'm weird like that. But yeah, a little insight to that. And yeah, honestly, I think the story is coming around pretty nicely. Obviously, it's not going to be great. Please, if you're going to read this, understand it's not going to be great. I wrote the entire thing in like 1 week. But yeah, I'm kind of proud of how many words I'm putting out there. And even though some of them are really trash, some of them are kind of good, and that's really awesome. It was at this point in writing the book that I made my first major mistake. For some reason, I thought there were 6 members of the crew that goes into space, and it turns out there are 7. I just wasn't writing that one character for several chapters, so I had to find a way to reintegrate them, and let me know if you figure out which character it is by reading this. Seriously, any feedback would be really helpful. So this is the end of day 5, and as you can see, the sun is out now that I'm finished writing, so my sleep schedule was absolutely wrecked. However, I've been getting a lot of writing done, so I guess I can't really complain, and I'm not really going to try to fix it until I get back to school, so that's a later problem. Today I wrote 8,372 words, so that's another pretty good day. I was hoping to have another 10,000 word day, but I can't complain about this. And my total for the entire project is now 41,688. So yeah, I've blown my last attempt at this challenge out of the water. My biggest problem now is I have to start thinking about how I'm going to wrap this story up. Because I know I'm going to hit the word count, but now I have to make sure I have a full story. Because remember, the challenge says I have to write an entire story that has a beginning, middle, and end, not just 50,000 words. I'm in a place where I think I'm ready to start wrapping things up. I'm definitely gonna have to end up writing more than 50,000 words if I'm gonna get this done, but yeah. Full disclosure, I had some technical difficulties, so all the day 6 footage was shot on day 7. I feel like I've never written 10,000 words in one day in my life, and this week, just doing this challenge, I've done it twice. I'm also pretty sure I came close a third time. I think I was at like 9,000 something one time, but yeah. I've been getting so much writing done, and even though it is not the best writing I've ever done, it's really cool to see like an entire draft come together in one week instead of just me writing the same chapter over and over again. Like, this has been a great experience so far. Yeah, I think by the time I'm done with it, I'm gonna need a good break from writing, but for now, yeah, I'm just chugging through. So here we are on the last day. I think I have like 17 or so more hours. I just stayed up all night for day 6 and just wrote straight through. And at this point, I've hit the word count goal. I'm at 51,384 words. So now I just need to work on making sure the story is complete. And one of my rules was that it has to have a beginning, middle, and end. And honestly, I'm getting there. Today, my dad is driving me up to college, so I'm going to try to get a little writing done in the car, and then from there, just finish once I'm at my new apartment. As you can see, I'm super tired, and as soon as I finish this, I'm going to take a long nap. But for now, I'm just powering through. For the first half of this, I didn't really use any caffeine at all, but now I'm going to really need to rely on it to finish. And yeah, first reactions, I know I haven't finished yet, but I think this story has some good parts. There are also some parts that I cannot believe I wrote. They're terrible. But yeah, that's what happens when you write a book in 1 week without outlining. But I'm really excited to finish this and get it out there for all you guys to check it out. At this point in the challenge, I had no desire to continue writing. I was completely exhausted, and I had already hit the 50,000 word count goal. But the story still needed an ending, and I made sure I gave one that kind of fit. It was a little shorter than I would have liked it to be, but I think it really works for now. And it might be hard to see because it's a time lapse, so it happens really quickly, but at the end of this challenge, I throw my arms up, and I just could not believe I was done, and I was so happy to just finally relax. It truly felt like 1,000 pounds had been lifted off my shoulders. I can't really think of that many better feelings than when I completed this challenge. Well, I did it. I wrote an entire book in 1 week. Just hearing it out loud just makes it even crazier to wrap my head around the fact that I actually completed this challenge. Now, this is actually being filmed the day after I finished the challenge because when I finished the final word, I just had to shut my brain down. I was so tired by the end of this, but yeah, I did it. The final word count of Europa is 54,734 words. And that comes out to a whopping 113 pages I wrote in 1 week. Again, it's so many words, I can't believe I wrote them all in such a short time frame. Especially considering that before this, the fastest amount of time that I've completed a book in has been 4 months. I am super proud of myself. Now, I will say, even though I keep on saying I wrote an entire book in 1 week, in actuality, I didn't write a book. I wrote a draft. A book would be well edited and polished, and as you guys will see when I post this on Wattpad, this is a mess. Actually, now that I think of it, when this video is published, the story is actually going to be published on Wattpad. So it's going to be in the description below. So check out that link if you want to read it. Just know, as I said in the beginning of the video, it's going to be bad. And now that I know what happened in the writing process, I'll tell you up front that there are mistakes in this book that I am aware of. The one thing about writing a book in 1 week is you don't have time to go back and change things. So there are mistakes there. I'm sure there are blatant errors, but yeah. Like, even structurally, off the top of my head, I know one thing I'm working on right now is using the word was less frequently in my writing, and I know for a fact that I use the word was in this story, like, probably 1,000 times. But I don't want to focus on the bad parts. I want to focus on the part that I actually managed to accomplish this writing goal. In the past, I've struggled a lot with writing consistently. I've never completed NaNoWriMo. I always fail to write on a regular basis. So the fact that I actually managed to write over 50,000 words in the past 7 days is incredible to me. And it's definitely momentum I want to build on moving forward. So now that I've completed this challenge successfully and I've published this video for you guys to watch, moving forward, I'm going to be taking a little break from writing. And when I say little, I mean little. The fall semester for college is starting for me tomorrow, and I just want to get some things in order with my classes. There's also a little project I put on hold for the game development side of my life so I can focus on writing during this week that I kind of want to pick up and finish. But yeah, after completing this challenge, I feel more inspired than I have in a long time when it comes to writing, and I want to keep using that inspiration to create more. And the one thing I really liked about this challenge is it helped me write more consistently. So moving forward, I want to try to do another challenge that really works on that writing consistently element. So that's why, while it's not set in stone, I'm really thinking that for September, I'm going to try to write a short story every day. It will definitely be intense, but it's certainly going to be nothing compared to writing an entire book in 1 week. And it will definitely really help me pick up ground on my work in progress, which is a series of short stories about the end of the world. I've actually made a video on it if you want to check that out. I just want to put that out there, but for the rest of this video, I want to focus on how I wrote a book in a week and what I feel I learned from it. I think one of the biggest things I've learned from this challenge to write a book in a week is how productive I can be when I really put my mind to it. Like, of course, one of my greatest desires has always been to publish a great book. Like, that has always been a dream of mine. But actually putting the work into it really puts it into perspective how possible it is to create something if you set your mind to it. Because even though this has been a dream of mine, a lot of times I put that dream to the side to do other things. And it also shows me how quickly I can write if I don't constantly go back and delete parts of my draft over and over again. Like I said before, there are major mistakes in this book, and if I were to publish it, I would have to make major changes and edits. But the one thing I'll say is, since I've written the entire book, I know exactly what those changes need to be. And I think when I edit the first chapter of my book over and over again, I don't really think of the fact where I don't really know how to write the chapter until I write the chapters that come ahead of it. If that makes any sense. I think that sounded a little weird coming out of my mouth. What I meant, though, is I'm realizing it's hard to make changes in your book when you don't have a perspective of the full picture. And while the draft I made during this week is a mess, I have to say I have a really good idea of the full picture of the story. I've also learned during this week how to say no to other things when you really want to focus on writing. A hard part of this challenge was it took place during the week I was getting ready to leave for college. And as a result, I wasn't able to hang out with my friends as much as I would have if I wasn't writing a book in a week. And there were parts where people made plans and they asked me if I wanted to be a part of them, and I had to say no. And it was a really tough decision for me to make. And I think forcing myself to try to make the writing responsible decision in some of those scenarios has really helped me to learn how to make a work-life type balance when it comes to being an author. And the key word there is balance, because there were points that I did decide to take a little break and hang out with some friends. In fact, during the second to last night, I actually took a 3-hour break to have a few drinks and watch Cocaine Bear. And I will say, watching Cocaine Bear, I was like, well, if this can do well, one of my books can too. Anyway, going into this semester, I want to try really hard to make sure I'm writing at least 1,000 words per day. Because through this writing process, I've really learned how much words can add up when it comes to creating a book. And also, writing this story in 1 week has really ignited my love for writing again. And moving forward, I do want to take it more seriously. Not that I haven't been taking it seriously in the past. So hopefully this is a sign that I might be publishing something in 2024. Don't get your hopes up. If you're considering trying this challenge for yourself, I would say go ahead and do it. Even when I failed the first time, I felt like there were a lot of positives that came out of that experience. Although I will say, now that I've actually beaten the challenge, I can say it feels that much better when you actually do. And remember, you don't have to succeed on your first try. Even when you fail this challenge, you get a ton of writing done. I would just recommend that if you are considering doing this challenge, make sure you allot yourself enough time to do it. And if you're working or in classes and you don't have enough time to commit to writing a book in a week, I would recommend maybe making a shorter goal. Write a book in 2 weeks. Or write a novella in 1 week. And remember when you're doing this, not to push yourself too hard. Now, I'm not saying don't push yourself. I pushed myself to the limits on multiple occasions during this challenge. But the key word there is limits, because I have limits of what I'm able to do, what I can't do. And when I feel myself pushing too hard, I know it's time to take a break and pull back a little bit. And learning those limits for yourself is really important to help avoid writer's block. Because the worst thing that can possibly come out of this challenge is losing your motivation to write long term. Let me know in the comments if this is a challenge that you can see yourself doing. Or if writing a book in a week is something you've already done in the past, tell me about it. I've beaten this challenge, so I don't have to do the punishment. However, I will do the punishment if this video gets 1,000 views. And based on your responses, that challenge is going to be for me to read and react to one of those spicy hockey romance books that everyone is talking about. I love hockey, I hate romance books, so I have a feeling I'm not gonna like this. And as of right now, I think the one that people want me to read is called Icebreakers, but I'm not sure. But if this video does get 1,000 views, I'll make sure to put it to a vote to make sure everyone is happy with the book I have to read and react to. On one hand, I'd be thrilled if this video actually got 1,000 views. On the other hand, I really don't want to spend my money on a hockey romance book, so I think it works out for everyone. That's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like it. It really helps me find new authors with the YouTube algorithm. And be sure to subscribe to stay tuned for my next writing challenge video. Thank you all for watching. I wish you the best on your writing journey. I know my writing journey would not be the same without all the support. Have a great day.